You're watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.
In recent years, dealerships have accelerated their technology to better compete and deliver the best possible sales and service experiences to their customers. Today on Inside Automotive, we're joined by Patrick Abad, the general manager of Beaver Toyota of Cumming, to learn more about why he made the switch within his operation. I'm talking about a CRM switch, which is a major switch today in any dealership. So, Patrick, thank you so much for spending some time with us on the show.
My pleasure.
Sure. So, first and foremost, congratulations. You guys are the #1 Toyota store in Georgia right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's super cool. You know, and last month we did a really good job of attacking the volume, and you know, we've been working up to this point, and it's kind of all coming together.
Yeah, it's great. So when you say attacking the volume, a lot of dealers are listening to that going, "Is he got special hookup on cars or something that we don't have?" Or where are you getting the cars from? Or are they slowly starting to come back from Toyota and they're filling?
Yeah, no, they're coming back.
Yeah.
They're coming back, but they're coming back slowly. But at the end of the day, we've huge pre-sold,
Okay.
right? So they come on the ground, and you know, our volume, we did it with 10 cars on the ground.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
we did 240 new cars last month, never having more than 10 on the ground.
Oh my gosh! And then you've got a big used car operation too, right?
Pretty big, yeah. So we try to retail somewhere between 375 and 400 used cars a month, and
That's huge. Those are huge numbers.
yeah. Well, you know, when we decided that we were going to attack the used car business, we realized what it does for the entire operation, right?
Right.
Used cars is the one department that touches all departments.
Yeah.
And that's
for
how
sure.
we said, no matter what happened, we will survive if we're a good used car dealer.
That's right. That's right. And as a result, I'm sure Fixed Ops is crushing it.
Crushing it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And Recon. That's fantastic. So you guys went through you switched CRMs this year, right? That's a big move for any dealership, especially a high volume store.
Ooh.
How many salespeople do you have?
40.
40.
Yeah.
That in and of itself is just, that'll keep you up at night, right?
Oh man, it's the biggest change you can make in a dealership, right?
yeah.
Because it houses so much data,
Right.
Right, and I think a lot of the transition that people go through, it scares them. Like, you're going to lose everything, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And everybody's so used to this a certain way, and you know, I was super loyal, Jim, to our previous CRM for many years.
Okay.
And what I realized though with CRMs is, you know, they're kind of all the same, because they all have the same tools and the same features. They're just in different places.
Right.
Until DriveCentric came along.
Okay.
I mean, it's not your traditional CRM, and I'll say it like this: in the previous world, we used to have maps, right, in these books if we were trying to find our way somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you flip the book and you try to plan out your best road to get there.
Right.
And having DriveCentric is like when GPS first came out.
Wow,
It gets you there quicker.
That much of a difference.
It really is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that is what dealers need right now, and their staffs, is the best technology available to them to move quicker. Because now with digital retailing, and now with consumers being much more demanding, there's no time for downtime, right? You can't fumble through that.
No, the reality is you have to create efficiencies for your people.
Right.
And that's when I wasn't looking for a CRM. Like,
Okay.
I was so ingrained in.
Yeah.
But what I kept hearing all these things about the tool, and it's a better engagement tool, and it serves your customers up to your
Sure.
salespeople better. It helps your salespeople be more efficient. I was like, okay. I think my #1 job as an operator is to remove the obstacles so my people can do their jobs, right?
Right.
So when I dug into it, my first demo, Jim, we were halfway through the demo, and I was like, I'm in. Like, it really is that much light years past all the other tools when it comes to the engagement side, right?
Wow.
You know, the reporting and all that
Sure.
stuff is still the same.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, very customizable and that type of thing, but it's the engagement for our salespeople, the ones who are on the front lines, right?
Sure.
The people on the front lines, you want to have the best tools.
That's right. That's right. I heard from one of your colleagues in the industry that also uses DriveCentric high volume store that what he liked about it was the fact that it was a CRM that salespeople actually used and wanted to use. Have you found that to be the same? Because I've spoken to people at other CRM companies, big names that we all know, and they'll say, we can't get everybody to use it, and we can't get everybody to use it to its fullest. But with DriveCentric, that seems to be a little bit different situation.
And I'll tell you why. It's because they make it so simple.
Okay.
They make it simple, and the other part is they can do everything on their phones.
Right.
Right. A lot of the notes and the stuff and the CRMs, a lot of the other current CRMs it's so desktop driven.
Yeah.
Where DriveCentric, everything it's in our people's hands, and
that's nice.
and when you can make it that easy, they'll use it.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, in terms of the other managers in the store and the accountability, this makes things also easier for them, right? I mean, when you're talking about managing 40 salespeople and who's coming in and who's going out and who's got appointments set, this has got to be one of the best tools for the management staff, right?
Well, I'll tell you why, because it makes it easy for salespeople to raise their hand and say, I need help.
Right.
They have a tagging feature. So if me and you are working a car deal together, or you're my supervisor, and my customers on our path, and all of a sudden they start to veer a little bit. As a salesperson, you can raise your hand, tag a manager, and they can be involved in the conversation.
Yes.
So they could decide, do they want to coach you through it, or do they want to take it over?
Right.
And they can do that with the click of a button. And that's
wow.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Where was that when I was a sales manager? I had to chase down the customer.
Smoke signals, that's what we used to have, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So with the CRM, obviously, when you're making a switch like that, a huge need for support when you're going to that company, and in this case, it's DriveCentric. That's a big factor, right? Because now you're having to teach your 40 salespeople plus managers, probably another 15 or 20 managers behind the 40 salespeople. Talk to me about that and the role that DriveCentric played in supporting you with training.
Well, the cool part is the people that sell you the product are the same ones you're talking through the entire process, right? They have their install teams, they have their pods that help you, and they set it up for you. But the reality is, Jim, the tool is so simple that what we do every day on our phones is the same thing that you're doing in there. So
you don't quite need the support there.
You don't quite need the support, but you have it, right?
Yeah.
They have the whole pod that we still today, I mean, we've been on it for quite some time now,
right?
And still today we can reach out and if we have a problem, we get it fixed, or guidance, right? That's really what you need is,
right.
I used to do it this way, how do I do it this way? And they typically have a more efficient, better way to do it.
And I would imagine, since it is available on the phone for the salespeople, wherever they are, even if they're working from home or if they get a call and they're in lunch or whatever the case might be, they're not racing back to the dealership to check out data or get, work on the computer or whatever. It's right there on the hip.
Yeah.
Everything
So
need.
The cool part is they have a feature, and it's the unreplieds, right? We have a rule in our dealership that no customer, you must be the last one to speak to the customer, right? Even if you just send an emoji. They have this way to send emojis and smiley faces and thumbs up and all these cool things. But we have a rule that you must be the last person to reply to the customer. So, and there's actually a button that tracks it. And it says, all right, Mr. Jones needs to be replied to. So whether you're out on the point watching the lot, you can still be engaging to your customer. Whether you're upstairs having lunch, you still can be engaging with your customer.
Yeah.
Because I think time is such a crucial part of the sales process. And if a customer asks a question, do you really want to wait till you get back to your desktop and start going through your CRM?
That's right. That's right. So we heard a lot about collaboration and coaching that are not easy in the kind of the traditional CRMs that have been out there. Can you expand a little bit on that? I know you just touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part is that the managers have oversight on every conversation. So what's really cool about it is every piece of communication, whether you're talking about the text message, the email, the video you sent, all the things that you're doing within the CRM is right into one thread.
Oh, nice.
So as your leadership who's overseeing the
they
sales
see the
department,
whole conversation.
they see everything.
Right.
So they can interject if it's wrong. They can correct things as you go.
Wow.
So you don't go down this wrong path that you don't want to be on,
right.
right? So if they get off the path, they can put them right back on it very quickly. And I think that's where that coaching comes in, because training's great.
Yeah.
But really, coaching is when you're on the job.
That's right.
And that's what happens with the DriveCentric tool.
That's right. So video has played, and live streaming has played such a big role in the last 2 years. Everything, whether it be a Zoom interview or showing the car to the consumer that's sitting on their couch at home and you're walking around the vehicle or what have you. And I know that DriveCentric prides themselves on a really strong video and live streaming capabilities, right? Do you guys I would imagine you use that?
It's my favorite part of the tool. I'll tell you why. If you go to any salesperson, you ask them, are you better with a fresh up, or are you better talking through the internet?
Right.
Everybody's gonna say, I'm better with a fresh up. Their Go Live tool, picture this. You send in a lead, I send you I call you up and say, Jim, rather than me go back and forth, I'm gonna send you a link and we're gonna go out and walk the car together.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, I'm overcoming your objections. I'm building value, like you were on the lot, but we're doing it digitally.
Yeah.
So you're taking these 3-hour conversations that go back and forth in email, and you're turning them into 15-minute conversations.
Wow. That's
and
cool.
that's
Very
what.
cool.
Oh, it's my favorite part of the tool,
Yeah.
because again, our people are better live.
Yeah.
So what more? Send them a link, go live with them, and guess what? All that's housed in the CRM.
That's right. And you're building that trust factor that consumers have about car salespeople anyway.
That's right.
But that whole time you're building that rapport with that customer, which is so incredibly important. And then if the event, I would imagine if a salesperson can take a video and of the car, they can also just send that to them as well as a link or and say, hey, I did this already for you. Looked in the car, the trunk, went around it, did the walk around, did the tire thread on the tread on the car, and here it is.
That's right. And it's all housed in the same place. You send your email, your text message. It's all in one thread for the management to oversee it and make sure that everything's happened the way it should be.
Right. So for dealers that are, and we like to bring solutions like this to our viewers and our dealers and managers out there. This happens to be about DriveCentric's technology. We had the pleasure of interviewing the founder of the company. We were impressed with what he said. We said, let's bring in one of your clients and run it through the test, and that's why you're here today. So thank you so much for coming in. But what would you say to a dealer that's on the fence about a change in CRMs from what they've got currently to maybe a DriveCentric product?
Well, you have to decide, right? Do you want to catch up to where the business already is, or do you want to sit back and wait, right? And sit back and wait and think things are going to change. COVID sped this technology world up by years, right? Yeah. And I think your job as an operator, as a dealer, is to give your people the best tools to be able to handle that. Right. And I do think that that's what DriveCentric does when it comes to CRMs. And I go back to you could flip through the map book to find your best way there, or you can use GPS. Right?
That's a world of difference right there. It really is. Right? It's a good way to explain it. So before I let you go, what's your take for the last 4 months of the year here? Are we going to finish strong? Are you going to get more because SET or Toyota told you you're going to get any more cars than you've been getting? Or?
Well, they've done a really good job of keeping us informed of what's coming, what's not. Okay. And here's my thing: the next 4 months, the people who attack it are going to do great. The people who sit back and wait are going to get crushed. Yeah,
that's exactly right. But I think this is going to be with us well through 2023, right? This is not ending anytime soon.
Without a question.
Yeah. And you guys are going to continue to make huge grosses and low expenses, and you have no problem with that.
Not one bit.
Well, congratulations on all your success at Beaver Toyota. I know you're knocking the cover off the ball. A number of people that I know in the Atlanta market, the Metro Atlanta market, know of you. Knew I was going to be interviewing. And that guy's like number one. He is killing it. So congrats on all of that, Patrick Abad. Chris, what is the deal? Patrick Abad, General Manager of Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Inside Automotive with Jim Fitzpatrick.